Hello dear friends. So today we are going to read lesson number 2, the symbol line, and it is written by Chaman Na. So page number 30. So let's start with the first paragraph. Okay. It is difficult to assess the range and quality of human emotions. Those with smiling, evergreen faces may have warm like leaves gnawing at their existence, and a dull, idiotic looking person may be blissful, happy. Life is a strange, humdrum affair where even a few moments of peace snatched should probably be gratefully acknowledged. See, it is difficult to assess the range and quality of human emotions. See, yes, really, the writer Chaman, he explains about it. He describes about the we cannot assess, we cannot judge, we cannot find the reality of any person's emotions. It is very difficult to assess. It is very difficult to find the people's emotions. It is very difficult to find the range. In strength is what? 1 to 100, 0 to 100 or 100 to 0. Means we cannot understand the emotions of a person. It is very difficult. So in this first line, it is said about that it is difficult to assess the range and quality of human emotions. We have emotions. Sometimes we feel very happy, but we cannot show our happiness on our face. Inside we are very happy, but we don't show our happiness. Sometimes we are very sad, but on our face there is a smile. So we cannot judge, we cannot understand that what we are. What we are means what other people are, means we cannot understand the emotions, the range, we cannot assess. Those with smiling, evergreen faces may have warm like leaves. Now here, the writer is talking about if a person is a smiling face, if a person is very smiling and keeping all time smile on her face or his face, so it doesn't matter that he is or she is very happy. It doesn't matter. Maybe that person is keeping some secret. Maybe that people will be keeping some sorrow or sad or something else, but their face expression is telling something else. Those with smiling evergreen faces may have warm like grief. Grief means sad, gnawing means sad at their existence, and dull, idiotic. Dull, very lazy. Idiotic means ridiculous. Okay, and dull, idiotic looking person may be blissfully happy. A person who is looking very lazy, a person who is looking very ridiculous, but what? Maybe he will be very happy. No, those person who is very lazy, maybe he will be very happy. Okay, so it shows means we cannot assess the range. It is very difficult to find the range of what? The emotions of human. Means human's emotion, it is very difficult to find. So life is strange. Really, life is very strange. A person who is smiling, a person who is keeping a smile on his face or her face, but that person is what? Suffering from something. So definitely we can say that what? Life is very strange. Humdrum affair means what? Monotonous. Humdrum is monotonous. So life is very strange, monotonous, where even a few moments of peace is snatched should probably be gratefully acknowledged. Means a piece of what? Even a few moments means a small moment, 1 moment or second means 2 moments or 3 moments. Means whatever the moments are there, that snatched your what? Happiness, your sorrow, means everything, it happens. So here we cannot access the range of, it is very difficult, we cannot access the range of what? The human emotions. See next paragraph. I recently had the very pleasant experience of staying at a guest house in one of the hill resorts. So here the writer is going to share his feeling. The writer is going to share his experience. So what he experienced here? I recently had the very pleasant experience of staying at a guest house. So here the writer went somewhere and there he stayed in one of the hill resort. Means he went to the hill station and there he stayed in a resort. Okay, so he felt a very pleasant experience in his life. I think you also feel some experience when you meet any people. So when you go anywhere, so you also feel some experience. You also have some experience. Okay, some bad experience, some good experience. So he also felt a very pleasant experience of staying in a guest house. A friend of mine had earlier warmly recommended the place to me, claiming for it all the facilities which most of these boarding houses advertise but generally lack. It was centrally situated, close to the post office, close to the market, close to the bus stand, and was yet isolated and away from the common deal. There were pleasant views to be had from there. It had excellent cuisine, and I was well looked after by one of the most charming hostesses one could find anywhere. See what happened here. A friend of mine had earlier warmly recommended the place to me. Actually, one of my friend had gone there. Means here the writer is just explaining. Means we can also take example from our life. Like my friend had gone somewhere and he said that Sudhakar, if you are going there, so you just choose that hotel. That hotel is very nice because there means you get all the facilities, Wi-Fi and all that hospitality. Means everything is good, nice, well. Means cheap and best also. Means it is the way that you can recommend anything to your friend. So here, the writer's friend, he recommended to him that you should go that hotel. You should go that hotel. Okay, resort. So, a friend of mine had earlier warmly recommended the place to me, claiming for it all the facility which most of these boarding house advertise but generally lack. Means he just said, he told me each and everything about that resort. What is that? All the facilities. Claiming for it all the facilities which most of these boarding houses advertise but generally lack. Actually, you know what? He said that when you go there, so it is advertised about that. You can get the advertisement of that hotel. That in this hotel you will get all that things. You just search on net whatever your requirement in hotel. So you got according to your requirement the hotel, you got it hotel. Okay, according to your requirement. But here what he said, nothing was advertised. Only he was the person that who advertised that thing. So he said what? It was centrally situated. He advised that you should go there to stay for a night or a day. Okay. So he said that it was centrally situated. Centrally situated means what? Suppose this is a market. So here was the place. Okay. This was the market. This was the place. This was the hill area. So this was the place. Okay, where the resort was situated. What is said here? Centrally situated, close to the post office, very close to the post office. Okay, very close to the post office. Close to market, very close to the market. Okay, and close to the market, close to the bus stand, very close to the bus stand. Okay, and was it isolated and away from the common name? Means it was isolated also, but it was very common there. Okay, there were pleasant views to be had from there. Means from here, the writer described here that from here you can have a very pleasant view. Pleasant view is what? There is a what? Mountain, hill area. This is a hill area. So from here you can see the what? Pleasant view, so that you can feel happy. Okay. There were pleasant views to be had from there. It had excellent cuisine. Cuisine means dinner, super means whatever the meal they serve. It was very excellent. And I was well looked after by one of the most charming hostesses one could find anywhere. Means if I need anything, the writer explained here, if I need anything, if I want anything, so I can get it very easily. How? Because one hostess was there. Means one girl was there. Girl means what? You can understand. Means hostess. Hostess means who can serve that people. Like air hostess. Air hostess means that who work in the flight. Air hostess. So just like that, there was a lady that who was there for anything means to serve. Well, means he was well looked after by one of the most charming. She was looking very charming, very beautiful. So here the writer said that he was well looked. He was well looked means nothing was left to take care of him. Means everything was there. Whatever he needed, everything was there only. So let's see the next paragraph. I discovered that the place exactly corresponded to the details described. But it was the hostess, particularly, and her husband and their little daughter who really proved to be the center of attraction to me. So in this paragraph, as he was described about that particular place, about this resort, and who described this? His friend. So here the writer said that as he was described about this resort, everything was there. Means I discovered that the place exactly. When he went there, when he went that hill station, that resort, so he found that what? That particular resort as he was described by his friends. So what he said that, but it was the hostess, particularly, and her husband and their little daughter who really proved to be the center of attraction to me. So here he said that hostess and that child, his little daughter and her husband, they were the attraction to him. They were the attraction to him, and it proved. Next paragraph. The lady belonged to the south, though she had married a North Indian. Now, see. Can you see? This is east, this is west, this is north, and this is south. Okay. Can you see or you cannot see? Here. Okay. This is east, this is west, this is south, and this one is north. Okay. So here, in this next paragraph, what the writer is describing that lady belonged to the south. That lady who was the hostess of that resort, who belonged to this area, south, but she married to North Indian man. She had married with this North Indian man. She was rather dark. She was rather dark, you can understand that she was not fair, but had a very pleasant face. She was not fair, she was dark, but she had very pleasant face. She had a very pleasant face. As you go to South India, means Chennai, Tamil Nadu, like that area, so they have their different color of their skin. So as it is described here that she was rather dark, means not fair, but had a very pleasant face, but she was keeping a smile on her face that makes her face value what? Increase her face value. All smiles and kindness. She had a what? Pleasant face and smile every time on her face, and very kind. Means you can see that she was looking very kind and very smiling people. The husband was a huge swarthy man with a large bony limbs. Now in this paragraph, the writer is describing about the physical appearance of the lady, means hostess, and her husband, how they were looking at that moment, how they were having the physique. And it is also described that the lady belonged to south and that person and that man belonged to north. Okay, so here how she was looking, rather dark, but she was having a very pleasant face, smiling face, and very kind-hearted person, very kind-hearted lady. And what about her husband? Let's see. Swarthy man with large body limbs, means he was having a very good physique, as you can say bodybuilder. He was extremely well mannered. Talking about manner, he was well mannered, and there was not a trace of that untempered roughness which one finds in most men hailing from the north. See, he was well mannered. He was well mannered means what? Hello sir, come sir, sit down sir, means polite, well mannered, not like in a tone. If you talk about any person, your tone should be in a proper way, means in polite way. So he was well mannered, means without any permission he cannot enter the room, without any permission he cannot sit. So you can say that he was well mannered, and there was not a trace of that untempered roughness. Untempered roughness means you can understand that he was not angry. He was also very polite. Means you cannot see even a single line of what? Anger. Means he was very, very soft, which one finds in most men hailing from the north. Means here he just compared to the people who is just living in this area. They have their different manner, but he was also belonged to that place. He just belonged to that place, but he was just different from that area. He was very good people. Okay, Mrs. Bhandari, next paragraph. Mrs. Bhandari, the landlady. Now you can get to know the lady's name. Hence, that lady's name, Mrs. Bhandari, took me in hand the moment I arrived. Took me in hand means not like that she caught his hand, not like that. She just took his hand means what? As he arrived, she welcomed very warmly. She welcomed him very warmly. She was very good lady, so she welcomed very warmly. And she said that what? She looked after my luggage, gave instructions regarding my room, had a cup of delicious coffee produced in no time, and then put me at my ease by talking to me informally about myself and my visit. Okay. So when the writer arrived there, so he was welcomed by that landlady. Who was landlady? Mrs. Bhandari. She welcomed him very warmly. and she welcomed him by giving means by offering him what? Coffee. And it was very delicious coffee. And she looked after his luggage and she gave all the instruction about his room where he was going to stay that day, that night. Okay, so she gave instructions regarding his room, and he had a cup of delicious coffee. Means it did not take too much time. Means as he arrived in that resort, so he was welcomed by that lady, Mrs. Bhandari, and she offered him a cup of coffee. It was very delicious, and she did not take too much time to prepare that cup of coffee. And then put at me at my ease by talking to me informally about myself and my visit. And now, when he felt comfortable there, because of that welcomed, because of that treatment, because of that behavior, he felt very comfortable at that moment. He felt very comfortable, and then he just talked about his visit, why he was there, and he talked about himself also. What he said that I was completely won over by the family. It appeared as if I had known them for years. Means what? These two lines gives a lot of masses. Even it was the first time of that writer when he reached that resort. When he reached that resort, it was the first time. But what he said, I was completely won by that family. Means he was just impressed. He was just impressed with the behavior of the family of that resort. And it seemed that we were not unfamiliar, we were not knowing to each other. It seemed that they were knowing to each other for so many years. It seemed that he was not a guest. It seemed that he was not a strange person. It seemed that he was just a family member of that family. It seemed that he was just a member of that family. So here that writer, he was feeling very happy. He expressed his happiness, and he felt that he didn't face these types of atmosphere or these types of people in his whole life. So he was very happy, and he said that he haven't got this types of experience as he had gone so many places for so many years also. But he was very happy at that moment. So I have explained 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs I have explained, and I hope that you have understood. Okay, so a small summary, this is small gist of this whatever I have explained. I just want to share with you. I just want to repeat to you. Okay, so it is said that it is very difficult to find the emotions of human, whether they are very happy but their face shows different expression, whether they are very sad, their face shows different expressions. So here the writer went to hill station to enjoy their holidays. So he just sharing his experience with us, that how he was welcomed there, and how he was treated by that landlady, Mrs. Bhandari, and how they were looking, means their physical appearance, as it is told that Mrs. Bhandari belonged to South, and she was rather dark, but she was having a very good, pleasant face. She was very smiling, and she was very happy, and her husband was very well mannered. Means everything is described, and it is also described about that where the resort was situated by his one of his friend. So it was all about this thing that I have explained to you, and I hope that you have understood. So in next class I will continue from the next paragraph, okay, while just chatting with the two of them. So till then, take care, bye bye, thank you.